to the mass production of automobiles, to air power and flight and space travel and computing and communicating technologies and medical technologies. We have brought so many new innovations to the world. And that's being threatened today by this idea that Washington can take care of us, because Washington cannot take care of us. That's not the way our system was built, and we've seen the examples overseas in Europe where that does not work. Yes, sir. Come on up to the table.
A few years ago, I assume it was, that I got a reduction in my Social Security tax. If there's such a hole blown in Social Security and Medicaid, why did a person like me, who's able and willing to pay, get a reduction?
You're talking about the waiver on Social Security tax.
Yes.
Yeah. That was envisioned to be a temporary deal for a period of time, and now we're seeing that our economy is in really dire straits, and a lot of people are still suffering. You are one of those, and like many, who probably would not balk, would not be concerned about going back and picking up that increased tax again.
More.
But when you've got 88.5 million people out of work, that are working age, that have dropped out of even looking for a job, when you've got unemployment that has been at over 8% for 41 straight months, that's a tough pill for a lot of Americans to swallow, to take another $40 out of their paycheck. That's the problem that we face today. We've got competing and conflicting needs right now. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but that's the problem is where we are today.
It just seemed like the rationale didn't make sense. That it's hurting, and yet, you know, you're giving me a break.
Yeah. Well, but we're giving a whole bunch of millions of other Americans a break who don't have a job.
Well, they're not paying tax if they're on a job.
But I know people that don't have jobs.
Well, that's exactly the point. Create jobs and put them back to work. That's the whole issue. That's why our focus is on creating jobs, empowering job creators, and you don't do that by increasing taxes on them.
However, you know, the Bush-era tax breaks on the wealthy, all Americans, the tax break that is going to end possibly for the wealthiest Americans, you say those are the people who create jobs.
Yes.
However, that tax break has been in effect for all the Bush-era years, and we have had no new jobs. They have not been creating jobs. They've been paying their CEOs million-dollar bonuses. They've been getting wealthy and increasing their offshore or their foreign investments and their bank accounts in other countries.
Let's take a look at that.
The jobs have not been created.
Let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at that. 40% of America's job creators are saying there is one law, and one law only, that's keeping them from growing and hiring and expanding their companies, and that's the President's health care law. It's going to put many, many companies out of business. Ma'am, I didn't make up those statistics.
But that health care law has not been in effect for the past 8 years. I'm talking about an economy that has seen such slow growth for years.
Sure.
Years, way before Obama was ever in office. And
you know what unemployment was?
Why haven't the wealthy job creators been creating jobs for the past 8 years?
Unemployment since January of 2009 has been consistently above 8%. Did you know that, you know, that group that the President's talking about, that group that makes $250,000 as a couple or $200,000 as an individual, did you know that 50% of those people make 25% of their income through pass-throughs because they are business owners? They are subchapter S and LLC business owners. They're the ones that create jobs. 60% of the jobs in this country are created by small businesses, not the big major corporations, but small businesses.
So then would you support the idea that maybe the income cutoff being higher. What I'm talking about are the people we've seen over the past few years, and you hear about the incredible bonuses CEOs make, and of these companies that are making incredible profits, and getting the tax break. But yet, they're not creating the jobs. The money seems to be funneling to those who are still wealthy, the CEOs. They're not creating jobs with them, they're paying bonuses with them.
I think there's some legitimate concerns about those kinds of things that you're talking about. It used to be, though, like Floyd was talking about just a few minutes ago, used to be that profit was not a dirty word. Used to be that pursuing your dreams and your ambitions and becoming wealthy, if that's the path that your choice has led you down.
But you shouldn't be allowed to do that on tax breaks.
That I agree with. That I absolutely agree with. Because now you're talking about, and that's where I want to go, you're talking about the desperate need for tax reform. We have got one of the most complex tax codes in the world. At the turn of the century, our tax code was about 300 pages long. Today, it's over 65,000 pages long. And through the tax code, Washington and its special interest groups and pressure from special interest groups have picked winners and losers. They help this industry, they hurt this industry. That's what has gotten us into the mess that we're in today. That's why I have sponsored a piece of legislation called Eliminate the Federal Tax Code. Let's wipe the slate clean and get rid of those kinds of loopholes so that we have a fairer, simpler, flatter tax code where all Americans, wealthy and poor, get to keep more of what they earn, because that's what moves America's innovative engine down the road. When people get to keep more of what they earn, they invest, they grow businesses, they pursue their dreams and ambitions. I think our time has expired, and I think we were going to take a walk around.
Thank you for all that. Thank you for listening. I can't imagine that.
What makes my job doable and satisfactory is being able to talk and hear from folks like you. No one in Washington, D.C. has the corner market on all the good ideas and the right ideas. It's listening to folks like you and hearing your concerns that make a difference.
And one last comment. This is the O'Neill Center gets Older Americans Act funds, so I always want to plug that. The Older American Act funds a lot of services that keep people well and at home and reduce the cost of burden to Medicaid.
Oh, absolutely.
So we need to support programs like this at O'Neill Center and others, because it really does help down the road.
Sure.
And reduce that cost.
I appreciate that. Okay. Thank you, Floyd. Pleasure meeting you, sir.
And they think I'm crazy. They ought to do away with these things.
There's a lot of needy people out there.
No, I'm not against people being needy. My point is, like during the Depression, there's churches here that people get their food stamps. They also go to the churches every day and feed. They get money. During the storm we had here, the 29th, they got $500 bonus because they lost food on the last 3 days. They got a check on the Monday after for the next month, but they gave them half in gas, half. They flooded the stores. Me, I lost everything in my refrigerator. I'm here trying to save back up to buy it. I look, they don't even shop. No, the point was, I digress. Do like they did in the Depression. Instead of giving them money in their hands so they could do and live and buy, they raised the prices in the stores. On the first of the month, you can't afford to buy like me. There's nothing marked down, you know, because they got the food stamps coming in. Have these churches, these organizations provide food, one church, one day, one, whatever, a number of them that do it anyway.
I think the
and
churches...
let the people go and eat. No, the government gives them the money to feed these people.
Well, we need to make sure they
don't need all the extra money.
They're using those food stamps for basic necessities and the right kinds of things, not spending it on the wrong kinds of things.
I don't believe that.
I think the churches and the local communities, many of them do stand up to that responsibility.
But the same people that are getting the food stamps are double dipping and they're using theirs for other stuff. No, my point is that these